Okay, this vlog might be all over the place a little bit. To be honest, I watched this last night and I'm still collecting my thoughts. It's just, I don't know. I watched One Piece fan letter, if you couldn't tell from the title of this video. I meant to watch it like weeks ago when it first dropped, but for some reason I just forgot about it and never got around to it. And then I kept seeing people posting art about it and talking about it. I was like, why did I not watch this? I should just watch it. So I tried forever to get it up on the like TV. Couldn't get it going. And so I like was in bed and I'm just like, fuck, maybe I'll watch it tomorrow. I'm like, and I want to get my computer, so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna watch on my phone. And it cuts to me watching this on my phone, laughing so hard and crying so hard in the same 22-minute span. Um, yeah, this was like, does it count as an episode of the One Piece anime? I don't know. If it does, it's possibly my favorite. It's a filler story. It's a non-canon story, but there's nothing in here that like contradicts canon in any way. In fact, it amplifies canon, which is really cool. Like, to me, this is part of my canon understanding of the series. This little special here, and I think that's awesome. So like, essentially, what it does is it centers around one particular. It's an in universe fan film, if that makes sense. Like, it's like it follows different fans of the Straw Hats and like the One Piece narrative as a whole, but as characters in the universe. So like, our like lead main character, pretty much. I mean, a lot of other characters get a lot of screen time as well, but our lead main character is like this little Nami stan who is like so inspired by her because she is, physically weak and doesn't have any powers. And in this universe where like, powers are essential for like dominance and freedom, she really connects with Nami, who, despite having no powers of her own, is able to, go on all these great adventures and obtain freedom from her rough past, and it just inspires her so immensely. And there's also these, different Marine brothers that like learn a lot from different Straw Hats in a way, and it's like it takes like, these different people from all these different walks of life and connects them through their shared love of the Straw Hats in universe slash One Piece out of universe, if that makes sense. Like, and how they've impacted them in all these different ways, yet they're all connected by the same common puzzle. And they visually use a physical metaphor of puzzle pieces clicking together, as these people connect over their shared love of things and like worked for common goals. And it's really beautiful in that sense, and it really like, you know it's an in-universe narrative, and that's in its own sense, but also it's a beautiful commentary on how all these different people from different walks of life come to One Piece for different things, but all can connect and, love together just based on, this one franchise. Like, there's they make digs at the power scalers, they make digs at like specific obsessive character fans of like one particular character. They like, they make commentary on people who are inspired by like the behavior of certain characters. It's really, really well done in the sense that it's a microcosm commentary on the One Piece fandom as a whole, and I think it was, it's beautiful. It was a beautiful little short. There's so much hilarious humor in this, but also I was like crying through a lot of it. Like, the emotional whiplash is crazy, and it does this amazing job of like, One Piece already has probably some of the best world building in all of fiction, but this like even expands upon that world building. Like, it shows the Marineford War from like the perspective of two grunt soldiers on the ground, and all these insane like high level fights are happening around them, and a random grunt has to rescue his brother who gets trapped, like under Orz's leg after Orz is dying. Like, it's just all these like random little pieces that no one is actually focusing on in the main series, but these people are just grunt soldiers with no powers of their own, just actively, like, they say like a lot, like, why are we even here? Like, we're just getting killed and just getting in the way of these like hugely powerful people. And it was just like, I don't know, like, it created so much depth to that war, who we just saw through the lens of these like high level power characters. And you realize there's thousands upon thousands of like grunt on the ground soldiers in this battle too, you know? And yeah, and the fact that, you know, like it follows these two Marine brothers in that segment that essentially like, you know, the younger brother is like the, you know, the world's love child. His family likes him more. The Marines keep promoting him more, and he kind of has a little attitude and is kind of obnoxious. But probably deep down, there's probably a heart of good in there, but like still like kind of obnoxious. And it like, and we see that one of the Marines is just inspired. Like the whole point of the, you know, a huge part of the Marine for War and why I have it is Luffy trying to rescue his brother Ace, and like he sees that, and even though he's on the opposite side, he forms this deep connection to Luffy in the sense that, you know, we were on the same journey that day. We were both trying to keep our brother safe and rescue our brother, and I succeeded, but Luffy failed. And he forms that connection and is like constantly wondering how Luffy is feeling and how he's doing because they were on the same mission that day, and one succeeded and one failed. And in that parallel, he's in a completely different walk of life from Luffy, but he has no powers of his own. He's in the Marines, the opposite end of the conflict, and yet he forms this deep connection. And that's just one example of all the connections that these characters form. And you know, and even through our main character, this little Nami fangirl who's so fucking funny and cute, but yeah, she like eventually at the end comes to the like she's trying so hard to emulate Nami and like meet Nami and like tell her how much she means to her, but at the end, like, you know, she realizes that like, you know, it was never really about showing Nami what she did. It was about like, it was never really about like that, you know. It was about coming like to realize that like, you know, Nami is not like, this isn't a parasocial friendship, you know. This is someone who inspired me, and I don't have to be her or be friends with her. I could be my own person, taking the values that Nami instilled in me as a character and or person in this world, and move forward on my own journey and own life adventures. And I think that's the core of like what this piece is trying to say. In a way, it's trying essentially to say that, you know, this series is this hyper fantastical adventure story, yet there's so much like value here that we can take in our world and apply to doing good for our society, you know. It like, you know, it teaches us about all these kids, and it's, you know, at the core it's a kids series, and it teaches kids about all these real world tangible issues that like that, you know, they can work to help. And I think that was like the core at the end, was all these different One Piece / Straw Hat fans coming together to, you know, to do some good at the end, you know. And like I think that's what, you know, this piece is really trying to say about One Piece and its impact in the real world. It's taking all these different people from different walks of life and connecting them together over a shared love for a series and the values that series instills in terms of doing good and making the world a better place. And this is a 22-minute short film. like I'm saying all of this about a 22-minute short film. This could be the thesis of a whole show, you know. And I absolutely, you know, and like it makes you so invested in these random characters. There were some that could have been cut, like that random like blonde Marine guy that wasn't asked. Like, why was he there? I don't know. I didn't really pick up on that, but yeah. And also, I just love like I talked about this a little bit before, but like just the subtle of the world building. It did not just work for like Sabaody. It made it feel like a real tangible town. Like all these people rushing to see the final like Soul King concert, how that blocks, you know, her from getting where she needs to go, and all the Marines, like what they're up to, and the fake straw hats and everything. It's like it puts another perspective on like, oh, what would it have been like to just live in that city uh as a normal human being when all this stuff is happening, you know. And people like people accidentally getting in, Corona's just walking around laying out her like depression ghosts, and like accidentally people are getting accidentally caught in that. It's impacting like things in their daily life because like just she's just waltzing around, and like little things like that. And like how, you know, someone could be like going, you know, to Brooke's concert, and that blocks her from this, which leads her to bump into this person, and that person ends up bumping into that person, and that person ends up stopping something the Straw Hat was doing. And it's like, it like makes everything feel so real and tangible, and like a real domino effect. So it was awesome in that sense too. But yeah, overall, this is one of my favorite things I've watched in so long. It just reminds me how incredible One Piece is and how lucky I am to be a fan and reading it weekly and being a part of this amazing community, And it really shows that people come to this series from completely different walks of life for completely different reasons, and they all have this shared connection from it. And I thought that was beautiful. So yeah, if you're a One Piece fan and you haven't watched this, go and watch it. It's one of my favorite things. I've watched it a very long time, and I love it to death. So yeah, thanks. I guess that's the gist of my thoughts. I feel like I got everything, but yeah, thanks for watching.